So I got friend zoned. Tonight I finally got the courage to ask one of my guy friends out and admit my feelings for him. And I asked him to be my boyfriend, and he said no.
Please don't leave me! Please stop.
I was rejected by a guy in the most embarrassing and humiliating way possible, but still a part of me feels like this was my fault. So
women have always said that men can't handle rejection. But look what's happening now. The same generation that claimed to be strong and independent is falling apart over one simple word: no. They cut their hair, cry on camera, move to new cities, blame the red pill, and even try to reinvent themselves, all because one man dared to reject them. The truth is, the female ego has never been this fragile.
Woman went crazy after her fiancé ended their relationship just before the flight took off.
Hey ma'am, where are your bags? Okay, go ahead, ma'am. Oh my
God. Alright. She's staying. Ma'am, please.
No.
Please, take her back to the emergency room.
We're
done.
Ma'am, get up. Sit down. Sit down. Get out.
Where's your bags? Huh? Where are your bags?
Can you... We've asked her to remove. We've asked her to get off. Well, that doesn't, she hasn't told us yet. We've asked her to get off. We've asked her to get off. Ever. Time for the flight to leave. Here's her stuff. Okay. And I think that's it.
I got 2 bags. I got 2 right there.
Please don't leave me. I don't have a cell phone or anything. Please don't leave me.
Please stop.
Right. I would not go. Is that your water?
Is he only one more
Fuck off!
There's a TikTok that's viral right now asking women to comment what helps them heal through their breakup this year. And they're all such good answers, like went to therapy, found support in my friends, started to go on dates, blah, 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 blah. I went batshit fucking crazy. I went crazy. I cut my hair, went full platinum blonde, went blonde twice, then went red, as we see. Got a tramp stamp, bought a new dog, bought 2 one-way tickets to New York City. I just went fucking crazy. And I think I'm doing okay. I don't know.
She says she went crazy after the breakup, chopped her hair, dyed it different colors, got a tattoo, bought a dog, and ran away to another city. That's not empowerment. That's desperation disguised as freedom. The problem is that many women today think losing control is living fully, but it's the opposite. It's proof they never learned to master their own emotions. While a man rebuilds himself in silence, the modern woman turns her pain into a public show. She calls it healing, but it's really just running away from herself, from silence, and from emotional maturity.
So I got friend zoned. Tonight I finally got the courage to ask one of my guy friends out and admit my feelings for him. And I asked him to be my boyfriend, and he said no. He did not feel the same way for me, and he said that he just wanted to be friends. I have been crying all night, and I feel like I ruined our friendship because I admitted my feelings for him. And when we hung out, I thought we had a connection and there were sparks, and I guess I misread the whole thing. It sucks when someone doesn't feel the same way about you. I wish I didn't admit to him that I wanted a relationship because I feel like I embarrassed myself.
She confessed her feelings to a male friend, got rejected, and broke down. But look closely. A simple no from a man was enough to make her feel humiliated. That's what happens when women are raised to believe they're always the prize. Male rejection is rare, and that's why it hurts so much when it happens. But a man's no is just as valid as a woman's no. He was honest. She was emotionally fragile. And in the end, it wasn't his rejection that ruined the friendship. It was her inability to handle the truth without turning it into drama.
This video isn't going to have a punchline. I'll tell you that right off the bat. Because I am basically just making it to stop crying. Because usually when I start trying to make a video, I stop crying. And I've been crying all day because I got sat on a plane next to a couple, and the whole time the guy had his hand on like his girlfriend's leg, you know, and it was just kind of like that the whole time. And I can't, like, I've been single my whole life. I'm 25, and I've never gotten to experience that. I've never gotten like close to that. And it's just too much. Like, it's too much. I can't do it anymore. There are some people out there who they're not interested in a relationship and they want to be by themselves. But like, that's not me, and that's never been me. I have always wanted to be in a relationship, even though I've never been in one. And even though I'm comfortable by myself and I can do things alone, but like at a certain point, it gets like really sad doing things alone. Like, I've traveled alone to so many places because like if I don't go by myself, I'm not gonna go. If I don't do things by myself, it's not gonna happen. But at the same time, like, it's so much fun to be able to like share that with someone else. And like, everyone I know is in a relationship right now, and like the majority of them have been in relationships for like a long time. Like, this is established, and I feel like I've always been alone, and I don't want to be, and I don't understand why this is happening to me. And I don't know, I like can't take it anymore. And clearly this didn't work because I'm still crying, and I just wasted like 2 minutes of your time, and I'm sorry. And I hope you're having a better weekend than I am.
This is modern loneliness screaming out loud. A 25-year-old woman who's never been in a relationship bursts into tears after seeing a couple on a plane. She's not crying over love. She's crying over the lack of it, over the absence of real connection in a world where everyone can have it all, but no one truly gives themselves to anyone. The independent woman gained freedom, but lost intimacy. She travels alone, lives alone, sleeps alone, and realizes too late that emotional independence sold as power is really just emptiness dressed as strength. She doesn't want status, she wants affection. But the system taught her to despise the kind of man who could actually give her that.
I was with my best friend from 19 to 26 years old. That dude was my everything, okay? This is the story that he would tell everybody when they would ask what kind of person I am. We've been together for like 2.5 years at this point, maybe 2 years, and he had gotten signed to Universal Music, an amazing producer, artist. Fantastic. And he was living in Vegas, and I showed up at his place in Vegas for the first time since he had moved there. And this man was sleeping on a blow-up mattress. And I was like, there was no way that the man that I love is going to sleep on a blow-up mattress. I had no job at this point. I had just moved to the US, was getting my green card. I couldn't work. With the little money that I did have, I went and I bought him a mattress and put it in the back of my Passat. Okay, and then proceeded to carry that mattress up 3 flights of stairs at like 9 o'clock in the morning in the scorching Vegas heat. Walk in there, I'm like panting, sweating, dying, because that's what you do when you love somebody. That's the kind of person that I am in a relationship. I will give 100% of myself and the last bit of energy that I have because I love you. That is what a woman does. Yeah, we can talk about how I cooked and cleaned for him and helped him with his business and helped him become a millionaire, and now he lives in a nice penthouse. apartment in Vancouver. I don't need to talk about that because I know what kind of woman I am when I show up in a relationship. You want to know I ruined that relationship? We were long distance for a period of time. I went during the pandemic and I was staying with him in Vancouver and something changed. And you want to know what changed? He started watching podcasts like Fresh and Fit. He started listening to content about MGTOW and that man changed. And I would sit across from him and not understand the person that I was seeing. I felt like I was waking up to somebody that I did not know. I am qualified to talk about this. I am qualified to understand the repercussions that red pill content have on men, because the person that I wanted to spend my life with, the person I was in love with, the person I wanted to marry changed overnight because of the content like that. And I see now the men who do watch that content, I hear the things that they say because I would listen to it. I actually started consuming that content because I wanted to understand what happened. To all the men who asked me that question.
This is the kind of woman who confuses love with worship. She says she gave everything, carried a mattress up 3 flights of stairs, took care of him, helped him get rich, and now blames the red pill for his change. But what she can't see is that he didn't change. He woke up. He realized that love isn't servitude. She gave so much that she lost his respect. A man doesn't fall in love with a woman who mothers him. He falls for the one who inspires him to be a man. When she complains that he started watching red pill content, what she really means is he stopped living for me. His masculinity was reborn and her emotional control collapsed.
I was rejected by a guy in the most embarrassing and humiliating way possible, but still a part of me feels like this was my fault, so I need you guys to let me know what you think. One day, I matched with this guy on Bumble who was very, very handsome. He was a documentary filmmaker, curly brown hair, profile said 6'2". At the time, I was going through an identity crisis, so I just so happened to dye my hair back to brunette, although previous to that, I was blonde. I was on this dating app, and unfortunately, I hadn't updated any of my photos to reflect the way that I looked, although the photos that I did have were just like taken 2-3 months ago. It's not like my physical appearance looked that different, it's just that my hair color was very different. So me and this guy are literally talking for 2 days, we're hitting it off, the conversation is flowing back and forth, and most of the time, guys will just waste your time and not ask you out on a date, or if they ask you out on a date, they'll ask you to like go for a walk in the park. Days after us matching, we are on a date, I meet him for the first time, he's exiting his car, and he's walking towards me, and as he's walking towards me, I could tell he has like a confused look on his face. And I've been on many dates. I've never been accused of being a catfish. I've never had somebody disappointed when they saw me in real life. In fact, I've had guys tell me that they are surprised and that I actually look better in person, that I look better than in my photos. He gives me a hug. We walk to the restaurant. We sit down. We're ordering drinks, and I'm just asking him random questions, trying to make small talk, and he is just being very, very odd and standoffish. And at one point during the date, he looks at me and he says, "You look a little different than on your photos." I was like, yeah, I actually dyed my hair. I went darker. I've been a brunette in the past. Like, this is actually close to my natural hair color. And I was just tired of the blonde because it was ruining my hair. And then he tells me that he thinks that that is actually misleading and that I should have updated my dating profile photos to match how my hair looks now. So then I ask him, well, would that have changed your opinion of me? Would that have made you not want to go out on a date? And he kind of laughs and shrugs it off and says, well, you know, I do like blondes. And that just like rubbed me the wrong way. Anyway, we end up splitting some appetizers on a couple of drinks, and I end up leaving and thinking to myself, like, this is probably not going to go anywhere because that guy was super, super weird. I have no plans on texting this guy, but then I get a text from him the next evening. He sends me a whole paragraph that I never even asked for. In his paragraph, he tells me that he thinks that it's not right, that I misrepresented myself on my dating profile, and that if he's being completely 100% transparent, he is into blondes, that is his specific type, and he does not prefer brunettes. I never replied to him. I ended up blocking his number, but guys, there was a part of me that almost got my butt into my car and went to Sally Beauty Supply to get some bleach because I was so insecure at that point. When I look back on it though, did I make a mistake? Did I misrepresent myself? Did I catfish this guy? I don't know. Let me know what you guys think in the comments.
She was rejected because she changed her hair color, and instead of moving on, she turned it into an identity crisis. This is the perfect portrait of the modern woman, addicted to male validation while pretending she doesn't need it. The man was honest. He said he prefers blondes. Harsh? Maybe, but honest. Her reaction shows how today's female self-esteem depends entirely on other people's approval. She almost ran to the salon to bleach her hair just to feel accepted. But deep down, It wasn't about him. It was about the emptiness she keeps trying to fill with attention. And that emptiness never goes away because the problem isn't the hair color, it's the lack of identity.